I was born by the river. I want to hear that song right now. In a little tent, born by the river, change gon' come.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, let me turn on my speaker for a moment. I just feel like playing this song. I've been in this old timey 1950s era magical violins and strings and just feeling it lately.
I love it.
Oh, let's just jam out for a moment. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that.
I
Oh,
can.
I was born by the river. Oh. Feeling juicy. Welcome, everyone. You want to get a little juicy with us? You can get a little juicy. We're going to wave at everybody. It's been a long time a coming. I know a change gonna come. Yes. Yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Tell me, is change coming in your life? Put in the chat right now where you're coming from. Are you ready for change? Are you ready for transformation? Are you ready for an up level? Are you ready to be your best, most magnetic, hot, holy self? That's what we're here for, right? To be hot, to be holy, to bridge the gap between the things that are inside of ourselves that we think that we have to be at war with. And saying, no, I don't have to be at war with my shadows, with the things and the parts of me that feel like I'm at odds with. We don't have to be at war anymore. We can make love with it all. We can come to peace with it all. We can welcome both the spiritual and the human, right? This wild, gritty, primal self, but also this very intuitive, understanding, centered. And we get to let them fuse and let them be. And that's what, this retreat, we have a retreat. We're going to be going into some questions with Amber, but like this retreat and this experience, and just like this call right now, it's like activating you into a vibration of saying you can be a whole lot. You can be a whole lot of woman, whole lot of human, whole lot of man, whole lot of whatever you want to identify as, like a whole lot. We are full, we're complex. We have past selves, we have future selves, we have alien selves, we have whatever it is you associate with your witchy selves. We have all these parts that are happening within our desires and wants and needs, and bringing them all together into a place where it says, wait, I don't have to try and get rid of this part that's scared, or I don't have to try and get rid of this part that's wild and fierce. But what if I work with it? What if I embody it as a safe thing? And so that it's no longer derailing you, right? We get to work with, and this is where superpower comes in. This is where sacred sensuality comes in, right? This is where we go, oh, this thing that is, said to be a sin, bad, right, wrong, like it gets to be a part of me now, and it's safe, right? So today I'm bringing Amber on, and I'm going to plug in my microphone right now, and let me know if you can hear me. So here it goes. Testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Can hear you. Loud and proud.
Okay. Amber is coming on because Amber is working behind the scenes with me to co-create and come on this adventure, both in Paris and South of France in the French Riviera, and then also in Iceland. So we're like globetrotting. No lie. We were just talking before jumping on this call, and she's like, everyone's like, that one's on my bucket list. I'm like, same with me. And my therapist is like, that's on my bucket list. And we're like, take it off your bucket list. Like, come with us. Right? So it's so funny because it's like, wait, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for that change that's going to come. But it's like, when I decide.
Mm-hmm.
It comes when I decide. The change happens when, destiny is shaped in the moments of decision. Can we hear that? Can we hear that? Destiny is shaped
Amen.
in the moment of
Amen.
decision. Oh, I love it. So Amber is amazing. Amber and I met in Austin, Texas, and we've been co-creating magic and things ever since. Amber's come to my erotic movement class, and we've done all sorts of witchy, fun things together. And now is co-creating and coming along on the Hot and Holy retreat. And so when I first told you about this retreat and the name like Hot and Holy, what came up for you?
Oh, Yes, well, just knowing about the work that you do, the going to your erotic movement classes. I've been watching this retreat for a long time, because I love the work. I love how you've invested in yourself, and just from the conversations that we've had, all the different experiences that you have, life experiences. I know you've invested heavily in yourself and all of these other things, and so I love hanging out with people who invest in themselves and stretch the limits and have open minds. And we've always just had so much fun together. So, I mean, pair personal development, sensual movement, traveling is my favorite. A destination that we love. Like, how honestly, how could it get any better? It's just right up my alley. It's all of the things that I love. And you embody that, and being able to travel with somebody that I have fun with, be able to go there, do deep work, and nothing is taboo, or really just being able to open up and explore and just enjoy life,
Mm.
um and all of its luxuries and pleasures. Sign me up.
Ah, I love this. Enjoying life. Nothing's off limits. Nothing's taboo. We get to be it all. We get to show it all. We get to be yummy and juicy and sweaty. Yes, I love it. I love it. And then before we got on this call, we were talking about, because everybody has like their own perception of hot and holy, or eros, and these words and terms. And sometimes it's scary or intimidating. And so part of like this retreat, we're doing photos, like photo shoots and activations through a photo. And I just put a post earlier in this other group. It was like 0% supermodel. It's like, what? Like, what does that even mean? It's like 0% supermodel, meaning like that's how people feel. Like they feel like a 0% supermodel. And then all of a sudden, what happens? We do this activation, you get into this state, you get inspired, and then you take a deep breath and you get behind the camera, and then it's like lights, camera, action. And then what happens? A whole identity shift happens.
Mhm.
Something from deep within that was buried and hidden and forgotten, or just like set aside, comes out and comes to play and comes and totally captivates, and the confidence just like bubbles out and there's no denying it. So tell us about this recent photo shoot, right? So there's this bubble photo shoot that I did in Bali, and this was last year after the Women's Erotic Power Retreat, and there's this bubble photo shoot, and then so Amber like sees it, goes, okay, I want to do this, and then what happens from there?
Yes. Well, first, I want to start out by saying, so we are just a couple weeks out from the Paris retreat, right? And
Yeah.
people go, "Oh my gosh, it's only a couple, that's not enough time."
Yeah.
I just want to tell a quick story about me going to Bali. I guess it would be over a month ago. I did not know I was going to Bali until a week and a half before I booked my ticket and went. And I had every excuse in the world of why I shouldn't go to Bali.
Mhm.
And it didn't make sense. And of course, financial worries and all of this and that and the other. And like what I was telling you before the call is, every time before I make a big decision or a financial investment of some sort into my personal development, I think it's not going to pay off. It's not going to be worth it. It's silly. And I have done this many times, and never once have I ever regretted investing in myself at the end of that. I've always grown tremendously. I'm so glad that I am a person that is willing to show up and spend the money and do the work. And that's how my friends know me, is I'm somebody that shows up and does the work. And so it's not too late to join us for Paris, ladies. That's all I'm saying, is like, this can be your magic too. Like, what a dream. Come to Paris with us in 2 weeks. Who doesn't want to do that? And I can promise you, if it's anything like my previous experiences with these types of retreats and things, it's it's invaluable. In fact, like, you can't put a price on on it. And so to what you were talking about as far as the photo shoot goes, I was in Bali. I remember like seeing when you were there, and I'm like, wow, what a magical place. Like, had no idea. I actually, when I was going to Bali, I didn't even realize that, I didn't even put two and two together. And then that came up. It was like the world was manifesting it for me without me even really knowing. That place popped up. Oh my gosh. And then they offered a photo shoot, which I normally would never consider. I am not, I don't consider myself a photo shoot girly, but I've done a handful now, and wow, like being able to see myself through a different lens is life changing. And it's actually like the highest version of if we talk about manifestation and visualization, I was able to visualize myself and step into a role because of this photo shoot. And this doesn't, I would have never known this. And in fact, I again gave myself a million reasons why I don't need to be spending the money to do that. It's too hot and humid there. I'm not going to look good. I want to do a photo shoot when I lose the weight or I look different, but every time I've said yes and I've done it, I've seen myself in a completely different way. And so I'm so excited that the Paris retreat, not one, but two photo shoots. And I'm like, I am just elated that that's part of the retreat, because I know that I always have a shift in seeing myself through a different lens. And that helps me get to my next step, my highest self. Yeah. That was a long answer, but there
Oh,
you
I love
go.
it. Wait, you took us on the journey because it really is.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's like that, like so much comes up, right? Like that's why I said like the 0% supermodel, because like what happens like when you take someone who's never done like a photo shoot that captures their essence, that captures their sexuality, that captures their beauty, and they're like, what? I'm gonna take a photo of me and I'm beautiful. It's like I'm 0% that. But then all of a sudden, like you start to try on that idea, you put the lingerie on, you put that outfit on, you put that glam on, you put that like this energy, and then all of a sudden the camera starts to snip and take the pictures, and then something comes out, and the 0% supermodel turns into 1,000% supermodel. It's like, okay, when are you going to be booked next, like for your gig? Like there's something that happens, and then it becomes an anchor. Like it anchors in that identity. Now you can look at this and go, that's me. That's me. And then on those days when it's feeling like I don't feel good, I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel hot, I don't feel magnetic, I don't feel attractive, then you look at that thing and go, that's me. And it's a testament, it's an anchor of energy, it's a redirection from that part of ourselves that wants to maybe dismantle us or doubt us, or and be like, remember this part though, that like trusted it and invested and went for it and lived the dream and lived out loud and lived unapologetically. Like all of that is composed in that image. And so it's so impactful when we're doing those pictures. It's more than just a picture, it's more than just this moment in time. It's something that like there's this funny movie with the actress, gosh, what's her name? But she was in Schitt's Creek, and she
Oh,
was the
Alexis
mom.
or
Uh,
Moira on Schitt's
Moira,
Creek.
she was the
Yeah.
mom, but this was in a different film. It was like a Christmas movie, and she was like, "You just never know when you're gonna get to naked pictures again, and you want to look at yourself one day before your boobies are hanging low." And just like, and it actually was Shit's Creek. Yeah, she was like, "Take
Yeah.
pictures now. Take pictures of your boobs now." Like, like the one day they're just gonna be sad. Like we want to remember this part of ourselves and look back and go, "Look at me. That time I was in Bali. I was in Paris. I was in lingerie. I was walking around the Eiffel Tower and iconic places as an icon, and I did it, and I didn't let the money stop me, and I didn't let those doubts stop me, and it becomes this legacy. It truly becomes a legacy. So I love that you did that. And I was so glad when we talked on the phone, you're like, and I have I have a photographer here. Did you use their photographer? I'm like, no, but freaking do it. Like,
Mhm.
like get the drone too. Which by the way, I have a drone shot from Mexico. I've got to post that. I haven't posted it yet. Like this is examples of this. Like I saw this girl on Mexico in Tulum, and she was carrying these big angel wings, and I'm like on my in my villa, like in my private pool, like just hanging out, listening to the DJ playing, and I'm like, I've got to go. So I run over there like slow motion, Baywatch style, and then I'm like, oh, stop! Like I want this, and I'm like, and they're like, yeah, we're doing photos and drone, and I was like, I want the whole package, like give it to me, and let's do it,
Oh, nice.
It's like moments like that where it's like when you start to say yes, it becomes so much easier to start saying yes. Like the first time we say yes, and it doesn't mean that the second time doesn't mean that there's not any doubt. Like Amber was saying, like I still have photo shoots where I'm like, I'm on my period, or I'm like this, I feel bloated. I don't know. And it's like, okay, then it's like lights, camera, action, and then all of that disappears. It becomes a meditation. And that's what I want to share with others. I want to share with others that like hot, sexy photos that are capturing you is a form of meditation. It's a form of like quieting that voice that wants to just negate your power. So thank you for sharing that. And now, like with that said, there's a lot of other things going on in this retreat and then experience. What would you say like is that you would expect as like the biggest transformation or change that women will undergo through this retreat and experience?
Oh, gosh, you think but that's what I love about women's retreats is you can never predict the magic that's going to happen I mean, women have been gathering in circles for healing purposes for thousands of years, and the magic that happens in those spaces is something you just really can't predict. But I know that those that I've been chatting with, there are women out there that are looking for spaces like these,
Mhm.
or maybe they haven't been exposed to spaces like these at all. Like you and I have been immersed in it, but there are so many women that haven't experienced this magic before. And it's impossible to put into words what you get when women gather together, and create magic. And I know, like you being our retreat leader and me being a part of the space, being able to hold the space, really just giving women the safety to drop in. A, Retreats are awesome because all you have to do is show up. And I know, like, in the busy day-to-day world, if you're a mom or you're a business owner, or there's so many things that you have to think about and manage, but dropping into a women's circle, women's retreat, you don't have to, you get to leave all of that. And that is magic alone, so that you get quiet enough to hear that inner voice. And I know we have lots of cool musings at the museum, scavenger hunt, different sensual movement and embodiment practices. And I know you have your wisdom from all the different tantric practices that you've learned. And I just I'm overwhelmed at all the different possible opportunities for these magical transformations and growth, but just simply by women being together and feeling safe enough to open up and express whatever it is they need to express and be held in that. that's that's where the magic happens. Yeah.
I love that. And yeah, like you really covered, like, there's so many different parts that we're getting to touch on. And I think one of the biggest transformations that a woman could come in and have is truly getting to see that all of her is welcome at the table, and that all of her is part of her success story. That like our shame isn't something that I need to somehow like get rid of, but that instead when I bring it closer and I look at it and I love it and I allow it to become my superpower, then I'm working with these elements of myself or my life that oftentimes, like especially with women, I think that there's this kind of hush hush about certain aspects of ourselves or things that can be sometimes more problematic, like hormones and mood swings and menopause and like going through all these changes in life that feel like we're almost getting out of our bodies for a little bit. Or sometimes women want to actually leave their bodies during that time, and it's like, what, like, can we cultivate a space where all of these deep emotions and feelings and changes within our life and with different, age brackets. Like we were all going through something that's transformational, and how can like that itself, like bring that to the table, like bring that and let's embody within that space, because I think a lot of women, it feels like a fragmentation, and there's almost kind of like a joke upon women like, oh, you're a little crazy, like you're a little manic, and it's like, absolutely. Like, and then that being like a compliment instead of this like put down of psychosis, like, no, like, yes, of course I am. I'm full of feelings. I'm hormonal. I'm changing. I'm like, I feel, I have like a sixth sense. I can grow a child. Like, oh my gosh, like there's so much, right? So I love that women get to, like you said, like they get to have all of these different experiences, from getting to see themselves as a muse in art, and getting to actually then embody it, from tantra to expression to Mary Magdalene as an archetype, which is holy and sacred, but then going to like a cabaret show and getting to be like sexy and hot, right? And getting to see and touch and taste and really make it like a centralized experience, right? Because words don't teach, experience does. And so I could tell a woman all day long, you can express yourself. It's safe to express yourself. It's safe to feel those things. You can do that. Okay, great. I could read all the histories about women doing that, or I could read all the books on Tantra, but until I sat down and tried one of the exercises, did I actually have a direct experience, which is why some of these things are so hard to explain, because it's your own it's your own journey through it, right? And so I could talk all about it all day long, but not until you sign up and you do it and you jump in, and then you have like your own truth that comes from it, and only you can have that, which is what's so cool, that you, because of all those parts of you, get to have your own unique experience, that when you come back and share your experience, that journey that you went on, it's not going to be like anybody else's. So that said, what kind of woman, like, do you see? Like, who is this for? What woman is walking in, and what is she walking out of? Like, is she walking out different? And who is it? Who is she? Would you say?
The first thing that comes to my
Yeah.
mind is any woman, but especially the woman that feels charged by it. Whether it feels edgy and like, oh, whoa, wait, that's not for me. That's what other girls do, or that's safe for them to express, especially those girls.
Ooh.
Um,
Ooh.
but because that is, yes, yes, because so much. Oop, I think, sorry, my connection was going. But I'm back. Um, yes, I mean, I truly, any woman that walks into this is going to walk out a different woman.
Mm.
I know I am. I know that I've been to tons of women's events and tons of retreats and tons, but I know the magic that happens.
Mm.
But what I'm especially excited for are for those that have very little experience with it,
Mhm.
because I know how transformational and life changing it was for me, and I want that so badly for every single woman of this world. I
Mm.
want every single woman of this world to know their power, to feel connected in sisterhood, to heal the sisterhood wound, to feel
Mhm.
safe and held by women and celebrate other women and be lifted
Mhm.
up by other women and know that we're not in competition with each other. We're here to support each other and love each other and lift each other
Yeah.
up. And yeah, if it feels like an edge, a special extra invite to you. Yeah, and you know, whenever you see these kinds of things, you feel a charge inside your body, and if you feel that charge there, there's a reason for that. That's divine. That's your
Mhm.
intuition. And that's what I'm trying to tune into and listen to more. I think I've gone so much of my life doing things how I should. This is the right path. This is the path that leads me to success. This is what society has said. And that's been my biggest over these last couple of years, is saying, you know what? No,
Mm.
no, I'm gonna follow what lights me up. I'm gonna follow what interests me. And where does that lead? And it's led to some really magical places and experiences, and I want that for everybody. I want that for everyone. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And I want to go back to something that you said about, we women working with women, and how often there's just this mentality that's almost inundated just through media, and the way that we're just kind of raised is like, oh, we're pitted against each other. But the truth of the matter is when we come together, it's like the a tide rises all boats. Like we truly rise together, and I find that so fascinating and so fun because I see with my coaches, they have programs, and they're like, oh, you can be an affiliate for our program. I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, I will do that too." It's like, but won't that take away from yours? It's like, no, I can add that as a part of my experience that I give to other people, and then we get to grow together. It's like we truly get to think so. Yeah, we get to rise, we get to flow, we get to share with other people. That's why, and that scared me, and it still does. Like, so it's a continuation of healing that within femininity, within women, within culture, within society. And I really like what in the book, Mary Magdalene Revealed, it says is like, she really believes like if a one woman is not free, then I'm not free either, and then that freedom for each of us looks different, and how can I love and support her in that too, and her magic and where she's at on her journey, because everyone's going to be at somewhere different, but it's like that's her freedom, that's her expression, and like, oh wow, it's like we're all different flavors of ice cream, but it's like we're all in the ice cream parlor and we want to be there together. And it's like, just because there's chocolate doesn't mean it takes away from vanilla. Like, it's like, no, I want both. Like, we get to like create magical Sundays with each other, and then a flavor profile that fills the world up with this needed magic. So yes, definitely for women who are like at that edge, and women who are wanting to work with other women, and women who are wanting to feel the sisterhood and community, because I know that especially, it can be an times can just be isolating regardless. We're on our phones more, people are working from home, there's a separation from community and society, and like people are more like separated than ever before. And so like especially mothers, who want to be in community. So yeah, it's like get with your sisters, get there in person, in the flesh, where you can see my face and I can see your face. It's beautiful online, but it's a whole nother experience when I get to touch, taste, smell everything. I get to feel the tactile like sweat coming off of your body as you're spinning, and it hits me, and then I feel blessed. Like it's an experience, and like that is Eros. Like a return to Eros is truly getting to be in the flesh of the experience. So yeah, you said women who are on the like who are feel the edge, but who would you say like for ladies who are like, okay, I really want to do this. But Paris is on my bucket list, right? My therapist earlier. Paris and the south of France is on my bucket list. Come, but they're on the fence, right? Excuse like, oh, I don't know about time. I don't know about money. I don't know about family. I don't know about all these doubts, like, or even doubting if she belongs, right? Like me taking a photo, like the photo shoot alone, like that can be intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Like me, I'm going to take a photo shoot in an iconic place, and then she sees like the photos of me or other people are like, do I like really, can I do that? What would you say to her?
Just do it. Just show up. Just say yes. Say yes, especially when you want to say no.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because I'm the girl. I'm the girl that always, I can come up with a million reasons why I shouldn't for anything. But what I'm learning is that whenever I say yes and whenever I show up, magic happens. Like I am living proof of that.
Mm.
And I know what it feels like to not feel pretty enough, not feel good enough, not feel worthy enough, not have the resources, I can go on and on. I have every single excuse that any other woman has,
Mm.
or a good majority of them at least. I'm sure we all have our own interesting ones, but what I've found and what I've learned is that whenever I show up and say yes, especially when I'm uncomfortable,
Mm.
that's where it happens for me. That's where change is. That's where the miracles are. That's where the perspective shifts. That's where the growth is. And it's been so fun to chase those edges, because that's where I have the biggest expansion and also the biggest contraction. But that's what's changed me, and that's what gives me spark to life. That's what makes me feel alive. And sure, I could say no and continue to live a comfortable, secure, safe life, but I know in my intuition and gut, whenever I tune into that I want more. I want extraordinary. And living in the extraordinary, there you have to take risks. You don't get to be extraordinary being safe, comfortable, and not making any changes or decisions or moves. And that's what I want. I want magic. I want extraordinary. I want wild. I want free.
Yeah.
And I've done the safe life, and that's great too. And it served its time, but I am having a lot of fun living in the yeses and the magic.
I love it. Like living on the edge of aliveness.
Yeah.
Like we're no longer living on the edge of safety, edge of
Yeah.
known, edge of like comfort, edge of like comfort isn't even comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort is like an illusion of safety around the self of like, I'm comfortable, but I'm so uncomfortable in the comfort.
Exactly.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to do this thing, but I want to live this life, but I want to do that. And it's like, but yourself to like, no, living on the edge of aliveness is taking the risk, taking the chance, making the investment, going on the trip, saying yes, saying no, like finding this edge of aliveness that sends you into, I don't know how. I don't know how, but I know it's a must. I know that I've got to move. I've got to make a shift, a change, anything. So like getting off of that edge is like, no one is going to like come and save me and say, okay, it's time, like I'm gonna now give you the
Yeah.
permission slip to make this decision for yourself. And even if that comes, even in my doubt, I won't even hear it, right? Because it's
No.
like so convoluted with that comfort. Like if I'm addicted, if I'm holding on for my dear life, surrender. Yes, like we make active plans, which is why there's like payment plans and things that people can do to break things up and get it into bite-sized pieces that feel good with them. Get on a call with us, like talk. You get a free edge of aliveness call. Like what? Like you get to have this conversation with us, come into our orbit and get a taste, right? Like let us lead you into a place where at least you're gonna feel authenticated in yourself and feel alive. I'm not gonna say yes if you're absolutely not a fit, right? But that's where we get to take the first step. We get to take the leap and get the ball rolling, get your momentum moving, right? We want to start to see that things are possible, start to make this step. I mean, I remember, and this is like a minor example, but like going to, I remember when I used to be so scared to go into like designer stores, like a Gucci or Prada or, Tiffany's or something. And I would literally stand outside of it and be like, I can't go in, but I'll like imagine what it would be like to go in, and then I'll have a panic attack because like somehow I'm not worth. Like they're gonna know, they're gonna have a meter. Like when I'm gonna walk in there, they're gonna have a meter that's gonna like scan me like a little metal detector, and it's gonna be like, beep, 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 nope, you can't come in here, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be found out. Like I'm gonna be found out that I don't belong. And sure enough, I remember the first time it was a Gucci store. I was all alone. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go in really quick. I'm not going to look at anything. I'm just going to like glance. Like, I'm just going to glance. And then no one has to talk to me or even know. And I remember I went in there and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, I saw this thing I loved. And I'm like, ah, and it's like behind this glass case in my face. I could have sworn like sucked up to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this right now. And it was like this scarf. And the next thing you know, this lady comes up to me and she's like, oh, would you like to see that? And at first I'm like, no, not at all. And then, so she goes, wait, I'm like, actually, wait, yes. Like I want to see it because like my edge of aliveness, it was so exciting and scary and nerve wracking, and I had no plans to buy it, but like maybe I did, but like I just wanted to go and I wanted to have the experience, and I'm so glad I said yes, because what that did was it finally led me to a time where I went back in there another time with a full on budget, and I was like, I can buy this, that, and I felt so good, but it was because of that first step of yes, right?
Hmm.
And it was
Yep.
because I got off the edge of indecision, or I got off the edge of maybe, or I got off the edge of doubt, right? And I said, I may be feeling this anyway. Like I felt like an imposter walking into that store. I thought that they were going to beat me down with a metal detector. Did that happen? No. Did I still feel fear? Yes. But did I follow my bliss? Absolutely. I followed my eyes and my passion, and I found something I liked, and I tried it on, and it felt so good. I knew I wasn't going to get it, but oh my gosh, then it felt so good. And then when I went back, I said full yes,
Hmm.
right? So it's like sometimes we got to try on, just try on saying yes, try on saying what feels good and getting off of the edge of discomfort and watching what happens. Like, watch what happened. I walked into that store. The next time I was there, I bought the dang thing, right? And I didn't need to know how. I needed to know that it was possible, and that
Yes.
I was open enough to allow the details to fill in. And then I also had to be willing to take a chance, to take a chance on myself, to take a chance on my faith, my belief, and to take a chance on life, right? Awesome. Is there anything else, any juicy little nuggets, anything else you want to pop, boom, pam into our experience, into this talk? Yeah, give it to us, right?
I am just so excited. I am so glad that I said yes. I'm so glad that I got the call. I can't even I can never imagine. I can think what I think it'll be like, but I can never imagine the magic that comes from these experiences. And yeah, I feel very lucky to be able to this is my life.
This is your life.
And it wasn't my life a few years ago,
Mhm.
but it is because I like you said, like just saying yes and knowing that it's possible. We get to create our lives. We get to create our lives. It doesn't have to look like what we think it has to look like. So yeah, I'm so excited. We know that I'm just so excited to be a part of something so cool and
Yes.
cannot wait to see who my new friends are. Yeah.
I love it. Yes. And I just invite anybody right now to just go in the DMs, tell us like something, or in the comments, DM either me, Amber, DM us both, get in a group chat and just share like what move, touch inspired you. Are you on the edge of something that you're ready to transform
Yeah.
and step into a new identity, a shift, a change? And then let us hold you in that space, right? Let's like send you a prayer, send you love, and really just let it be an initiation, right? An initiation into your yes, and to follow that flow of like social media. Let's be social, right? Like socialize with us, socialize with people who are inviting you to socialize with them. Like, come on. And we welcome you. We welcome you to that. That's part of this. It's a dance. It's a conversation, and I'm just so honored that I get to share this with you. It's so interesting because like the first time that I really like put dot and dot and connected you was when we went to this like travel thing that was going to be started up. And I don't know if I knew it then, but there was this inkling of feeling like some like we're going to be traveling, this woman and I, and we're going to be doing things. And so it's so cool when you get these full circle moments. And then it feels affirmative, it feels trusting, and it's like you really never know who you're going to meet on these
Mhm.
experiences. This retreat aside, we have another one coming up in Iceland, and that retreat, our chef, I met her at a woman's embodiment workshop. And then same thing with her. Like I had this inkling of feeling like I have to get your contact information. We may work together. And she looked at me dead, like straight, like, yeah, like we will. And I'm like, we will, and it was affirmative, and we are, and we get these pulls, and you just never know when you're going to meet your next business partner or your photographer friend for life, or somebody who, you know, you're going to end up becoming BFF. Like we just don't know. In these moments and times, we get to create our community that's going to help foster us into the next version of ourselves that we can't wait. I can't wait for you to be. I can't wait for me to be. So I'm so honored and so grateful for you, Amber. And I look forward to talking with you more and being on this site. What give people like your at Amber Reese, is it?
Yes. Yeah, so my Instagram is at Amber Imagines. Please hit me up.
Yeah.
I love connecting. I love holding space. I am so excited about these retreats. So please, any questions or anything that stirred during this conversation, if you want to carry it further, please reach out. I want to hear from you. And Rachel, thank you so much. When you were talking about us meeting at the travel solutions party, I got chills. And that's always a good sign from my body when I get chills. So good
Chills.
things. Yes.
I love that. And yes, let's keep the chills going. And so this is for you, the lady, the woman, the goddess, the queen, the wild, the emotional, the whole lot of woman who feels it all. This is your invitation. And if you were looking for the permission slip, this is it. Like, here you go. Take it out of my hands, go boop. Like, it's energetically been transferred. You now have the permission. Permission granted. And now it's from you, right? It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the fear or not feel the doubt or not hear those thoughts. It means that you're going to do it. But like, courage is a diamond being forged through fear, right? Like, be forged through the fear, and then be the one that rises in faith. And then what happens? We get to rise all what together. So thank you so much, Amber. Hot and holy. Woo! It is going to be amazing, and we cannot wait to see you there. Get in our DMs, comment below, and let's start a conversation. How can we serve you? Prayer with you, give you this next chapter of your life. And we'll be posting the live again on my page, and I'll send it to Amber's as well. So we thank you so much for joining us, and check out the replay on our page. Thank you. Oh, yay! Ciao for now. Awesome. I'm going to end it.